LATD Nation, as always, we are back in here with another video coming to y'all straight from Charleston, South Carolina. Back with another edition of Saturday Morning Wrap-Up, Episode 3. Before we get started, as always, got to introduce the crew real quick.
Hello there, this your boy Jay, of course. JFixit12 on Instagram. We got a special guest today with us.
Not even really special guest, just like a mainstay of the show at this point.
I was about to say why I can't be a special guest. That's. But yeah,
I mean, I just figured like
that's what it is.
we don't see him a lot on the show.
Yeah, you know it. You're right.
Right. So shut up.
My fault. My bad.
Introduce yourself, bro. Again.
It's DJ, aka Chili Bear, aka Space Ghost, aka the Hood Superhero.
With no cape.
Shit, not all heroes wear cape. But anyways, this episode we're gonna be talking about the much discussed albums, of course, Jackboys and Clipse. Jackboys 2 just recently came out. Clipse came out last week. What was it? It was last Friday?
Yep.
And then Jackboys came out that Saturday night. So obviously these two albums are on two completely different sides of the hip hop spectrum. One is that more lyrical sort of, I guess, pure hip hop sort of project, that being Clipse, and Jackboys is kind of more modern trap sort of hip hop. So two completely opposite ends of the spectrum, which of course that in and of itself makes for an interesting kind of conversation, especially with hip hop as it is right now. Because aside from these releases, we haven't necessarily had too much going on lately. Not to say it's been a bad year, because there's been some big moments in hip hop, Cardi's album, things of that nature, but of course, Kendrick's tour and just a bunch of other stuff. So overall, it's been a good year for hip hop, but it's been a little bit slow as of late. But Clipse, of course, Let God Sort Them Out, probably one of, if not the most anticipated rap album of the summer. Not just for the fact that it's Clipse, Pusha T and Malice reuniting after about 15 years since their last studio album. Pharrell production, executive producer, the only producer on the project, I might add. It's not even just for all those things. Of course, the rollout has kind of been a bit controversial. Kind of had a lot of people talking, including a Travis Scott diss that we're going to get to. But of course, aside from that, Chains and Whips, that's kind of been the controversial verse that caused UMG to... I can't remember. Is it UMG dropped them or they bought themselves out of their contract with UMG?
They weren't going to release it. And then, as opposed to like taking the verse off, I think they opted to buy themselves out.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Because, that verse they felt was very central to the project, which I do agree with, having listened to it. But, aside from that, as we mentioned, Trav being dissed on So Be It, the second song that made headway and kind of made headlines throughout this rollout. Pusha T, Malice kind of sat down and they sort of aired out their grievances with Travis. We'll get into that later on. But just off of first listen, well, not even first listen, just off of like the first week listening to this project over and over and over, what's y'all's takeaway from it?
Very, very intriguing question, my brother. I actually thought the album was really
Russian all of a sudden.
Those Vidonia. No, I actually thought the album was really good. It was not just really good; it was phenomenal to me. From all of the wordplay, the lyricism, and even the evolution of their subject matter, that's really what carried this album for me. Of course, it still had that classic pushing Malice type of drug bars to it, or coke bars or whatever like that. But just the production was really good. I don't really have a lot to say regarding how good it is, because it was just that good.
Just good old fashioned, just hip hop in its purest form is what I would
thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to say it, but you put it perfectly.
It was the first commercial release in rap in a while that I feel kind of embodies sort of what hip hop has always been about: bars, wordplay, lyricism, production, storytelling. And this album kind of has everything that made Clipse great in the early 2000s, with albums like Lord Willing, Hell Hath No Fury. It has sort of like, as you said, sort of that coke rap, those coke bars with them referencing their drug dealing past and things of that nature. But they also have more heartfelt songs like the opening track,
Birds Don't Sing.
Birds Don't Sing. Very, very.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like that from Clipse. That was definitely a point of reference where you could say they definitely have grown in their subject matter, which I do appreciate because this album isn't really just another Clipse album. This was more of, it feels like an album that justifies its existence because you really feel like the growth and the shift in their perspectives on life and just how much they've gone through since. Obviously, in the 15 or so years that they've disbanded, Push went on to have a very successful solo career. Obviously he had albums like, was it My Name Is My Name?
My Name Is My Name, Daytona.
Daytona, obviously, which now features a
Dry.
now very infamous Drake diss, which led to one of the greatest rap battles of all time, I guess you could say, sort of.
Right. Yeah. One of those one-sided rap battles of all time. Because it really wasn't much of a battle. Yeah. Like, with the story of Adidon, it broke down Drake's whole scheme of how he was going to release his son into the world and say, "Hey guys."
It ruined.
But he treated him like he was a hit singer.
Well, like that, low key, yeah. And then Push messed all of that up. Just
literally ruined his whole press run.
Yeah, like, and then
you were hiding a child, let that boy come home. Now the most ruthless thing about that diss to me was like the 40 diss.
Yeah, yep.
That man is sick.
Like tick tick tick. I was like,
he said, "Oh yeah, I really want to see you get angry," and you talking about you upset. And then what did Drake do? Nothing. He went on LeBron's show and he talked about it after the fact. Was whining about it too. LeBron.
Get in the booth.
Literally, he said somebody's gonna punch you in the fucking face. It's gonna be you, nigga.
So
that's why he said it like that. Somebody. I don't know who it is.
So what was the 40 diss?
He joked about 40 having not Parkinson's. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So who's 40?
40 is Drake's in-house, like, longtime producer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
But
okay.
That's it. There's no too far. That's what he said on he was on Drake James.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like one thing I noticed about Push, when he starts to diss you, he goes for the jugular.
Oh, you do.
Like, he's kind of like Lupe Fiasco in that regard. When Lupe dissed Royce the 5'9".
I don't think I ever even heard that, to be honest with you.
Nah, I heard it was one-sided, but anyway, with all that being said about this album, the one thing I loved was the features. Like, none of the features missed, from Chains and Whips to POV to Nas on which one was it? It was by Let God Sort Him Out or Chandeliers.
Yeah.
Like, the features really,
Pharrell he had a really strong presence. Not just production-wise, but also vocally.
Yeah. Right, like the features really were the icing on the cake of what it already was a good album. With Clipse and Malice, of course, stealing the show by far.
Of course.
Like, and that's what I always want from albums. If you're going to feature people, I mean, of course, songs feature other artists all the time, but they should be icing on the cake. It's like what I say about movies and cameos.
They should be purposeful.
Icing on the cake. They shouldn't have to be the end all be all. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because Tyler, for example, like you said, Tyler fits comfortably in the world of Clipse. Like he literally fits perfectly on that song with this production, with this style. Because Tyler himself did say, and many people know, Tyler's a big Pharrell fan. He's a big fan of the Neptunes. That's pretty much his whole inspiration as an artist.
Even with Tyler, I noticed that on his other albums, he's very kind of, I wouldn't say whimsical, but
I would kind of say that. I think that's the perfect way to describe Tyler.
Okay, whimsical. Like,
supposedly dropping a new album.
Hey, hopefully
be here to talk about that.
But,
bro, apparently it's coming out on Monday. Shit, I'm all for it.
On Monday?
I'm cool with that. Came out on Tuesday.
Maybe his album after that will come out on Wednesday.
Who knows?
But nah, like he's very much whimsical. Like, on a lot of his songs and a lot of his music, but on this one he switches up the tone to match Clipse's tone.
Very braggadocious.
Very.
He talks his shit on that song. For
yeah,
sure.
Especially when he said, "I want God to star in my biopic." I'm like, That was a tough line.
Yeah, he said God have to play me in my biopic.
But you gotta think about, he probably been waiting because Clip been out his whole life.
Literally.
Right.
So you get a chance to feature on some people
That inspired you. That
made
directly
you
inspired you. Yeah.
So you already know.
Right, and I'm glad he did not disappoint.
He did. Kendrick. Got to talk about Change the Whips first.
Now Kendrick verse, it wasn't really all that. All right, y'all didn't believe that? No, he probably had. It's kind of, see, the thing is, I think Nas and Tyler had great verses too, but they only lose out to Kendrick by like a little hair for me. But he easily had the best verse out of the features.
Do you
on
think
this
the
album.
verse was worth the hype? Because we've been hearing about this verse for a minute, and now like it's finally out. Me personally, I think it did live up to or actually exceeded the hype. Like I remember listening to because the song dropped the afternoon before the album was coming out, later that night.
All right.
And I remember I was riding in my car. As soon as I heard that, like when Kendrick's getting ready to start, I said, "Oh, this nigga about to be on one."
Yeah, no, it definitely lived up to the hype for me. Personally, I didn't listen. I don't like listening to leaks like that or early releases, so I didn't hear it until the album came out.
Yeah,
but it definitely lived up to the hype and exceeded it. I was appalled, not appalled, but I was like surprised when I heard it. I was like, damn.
Kendrick doing his thing.
I'm like, what do you expect from one of the greatest rappers of all time?
And thing is that we were supposed to get 2 verses from Kendrick on the album because Pusha said in an interview that they sent both Chains and Whips and So Be It, and Kendrick only sent back that 1 verse. He didn't ever send back his So Be It verse. Can you imagine Kendrick on that production?
That would have been crazy. Even as a YouTube exclusive, that would have went crazy.
That would have went insane.
And that's why I'm upset.
Could you imagine if they had just did a video, they didn't announce that Kendrick was on the song, and then Kendrick just popped up in the video?
Right.
That shit would have been goated right there. But hey, man, to be honest, I think part of the reason that he didn't do the So Be It verse was because, as we all know, Push third verse, he disses Trav, and we know Travis and Kendrick to have been friends for quite a while. So there is that possibility that that's why Kendrick didn't do it.
And Push being extremely loyal.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why he even dissed Drake in the first place, because I forgot exactly why. Like, I know it was something having to do with, I know Drake said something about somebody. Oh no, I think he like dissed Pharrell or something like that.
Yeah.
Was that what it was? He dissed Pharrell.
Yeah, he said something about melting down the chains or something.
Yeah, because what happened was, and this is all the way back in 2023, and when Utopia was getting ready to come out, Travis was in Paris for Paris Fashion Week. Pharrell was like kind of, I guess, the director of that event, and Travis pulled up to the studio because he wanted to play him Utopia. Now it was Pharrell, Push, and Malice were there, and maybe somebody else. I can't remember who else would have been there. But Travis played them the album, and of course one of the songs he played being Meltdown. But at the time, he didn't play him the Drake verse. And the Drake verse, as we now know, went on when it was released. You heard him diss Pharrell and diss Push on the song. So the implication with Push is that he feels that Travis intentionally either didn't play the verse or the verse was added on after the fact. And there's no loyalty in the sense that Travis allowed that to happen. Okay. Which is a fair point.
That is a fair point.
It's definitely a fair point.
And when he did Drake and Story of Adidon, I know did Drake say something about Pharrell too? Back then?
I don't remember if he did.
Okay, but I know Push was trying to defend somebody, but anyway.
Yeah.
Like this another thing I didn't know that Malice, I didn't know that he was a Christian rapper.
Yeah.
For the longest. To be honest, my first introduction to Clipse was actually on like a 2K video game. I'm not sure which one, but when I heard Grinding for the first time, like I didn't know it was them. So when I woke up at like 5 a.m., hey man, I gotta get how I live. I woke up at 5 a.m. and just started kind of chilling, playing the game, and I just decided just to listen to Push's My Name Is My Name and It's Almost Dry, and then the other 2 Clipse albums. I didn't realize until I heard until it was I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. I don't really know. I don't know these names of these albums. Until Lord Willing, yeah. I didn't know. I didn't know until I heard Lord.
Throw you in the booth
Like Anyway, I didn't know until I heard Lord Willin until I heard grinding on Lord Willin. I'm like, oh. I knew like hearing that song years ago that his sounded pretty familiar, and I was first introduced to Pusha T from Mercy.
Yeah.
On what's it? Cruel Summer.
Yeah. The compilation album, Good Music. Mm-hmm. When I first heard the Push, that had to have been Runaway.
Runaway. Yeah.
Yeah. That verse, legendary, iconic verse that Push gave. That was probably when he first stepped in to really having eyes on him as a solo artist,
right?
Because I think that would have been that was 2010, and they dissolved. They broke up in like 2009 or something like that. So it was like the year before,
right? No, so, like, there was a lot that I didn't know about Clipse either,
including that Clipse and Pharrell. They got issues with Wayne and Young Money and all that. I actually didn't know that until recently. I was listening to that song on the way here. Now, of course. I'm sure some people may know, some people may not know. Pusha T, Pharrell, Malice, they don't have any love for the Young Money camp. This is a rivalry that stems all the way back to when we were like kids. When we were young.
Matter of fact, didn't Good Music have like a collab versus type album with Young Money?
Nah. They were closely associated with it. Like Kanye was really good friends with like Wayne.
Okay. So
and at one point did have a good relationship with Drake.
So who I forgot what, I don't know the album cover. What was good versus something? Good Music versus somebody else. And I remember they had them both lined up on each side. I thought, wasn't that the Young Money crew?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think they ever had like a collab project or anything like that.
But they did do this with somebody, so I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. Continue.
Nah, you good, but yeah. So obviously going back to the actual album itself, fire production. Pharrell did his thing. Pharrell seems to have shown no signs of falling off or losing his creative spark, despite him having his hands in so many different things. He just had that movie about his life last year, I think it was.
Oh, the Lego movie?
Which actually I heard is pretty good.
Yeah,
I need to watch that. I know Kendrick is in it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah? What would you give it out of 10?
8.
About 8?
I heard that's it. Really good.
My phone about to die.
Yeah.
But no, after hearing Lord Willin and Hell Have No Fury, like the same quality stays consistent with this album too. Like
for sure.
But even more so going back to like the subject matter, because 9 times out of 10 on Hell Have No Fury and Lord Willin, and I just every other song was about
every
dope.
Song, not every song.
I mean, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, bro. Like.
Now, people, if you listen to Clipse, you know what you're getting, especially the Clipse back in the day. But like we said, this album succeeds as kind of a celebration of what made them great back then, but also bringing them up to date in terms of not just their lives and what they've gone through, but just sort of like modern sort of aesthetics, modern sound, modern ideas. But it doesn't feel like they're trying to compete with like the young people. It just feels like they're just doing their own thing.
Exactly.
And it makes a case for like Asian rappers and hip hop because, there's an idea that once you get to a certain age, you washed or you this, that, and the third. But these guys, Malice is already in his 50s and Pusha's getting ready to be in his 50s too. And these guys are still top tier lyricists. They're still top tier songwriters. So it just goes to show you that regardless how old you is, you still got it.
You think that
Andre 3000 take notes. But continue.
You think that comes with the fact of hip hop being a newer-ish genre?
Yeah.
Because when the artist is older making music, the fans got to get older. But if it's relatively new.
Yeah.
So it's like you ain't had time for the fans to get older. You know what I mean?
That's true because back in the day, the whole idea was like because when like most of the GOATs from the 90s were coming up, they were in their 20s. Hip hop itself was only about 20 years old. It was about the same age as them. So realistically, that does make sense. But now that hip hop is getting a little bit older, you're getting to a point where we're seeing those guys, they get older too. And we're kind of seeing how the genre is evolving with age, both in terms of just its actual existence and like the rappers that came up in that time period. So it's really cool to see. But yeah, overall for me, the standout songs on this album, definitely Birds Don't Sing.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely Chains and Whips. POV, I will also say So Far Ahead is definitely one of my favorites. That Pharrell like chorus, like that brief, like where it kind of like interrupts the production and it's almost like heavenly, sort of like majestic, sort of like you're floating.
Yeah.
No, yeah, by far.
FICO.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, So Be It another one for me.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the ones that you mentioned for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. They've definitely shown no signs of slowing down. I would love to see another Clipse album, but if this is the only one we're gonna get,
please,
I wouldn't be mad at it, honestly. I think that it did a really good job of showcasing why, regardless of age, if you have something to say, you got something to say. Whereas on the other hand, ironically, Push's rival, Lil Wayne, just released an album that didn't exactly go over well with people, the Carter 6. Shit, I almost forgot that album. I seen a post the other day. It said the Carter 6 was released a month ago. I'm like, damn, already? I'm like, shit, I forgot all that. I don't even think I listened to the whole thing.
There was a Carter 5?
Hell yeah, there was a Carter 5. You don't remember that, 2018?
Oh,
the album that Wayne and Birdman were at odds for.
Okay, yeah,
and
Uproar
and Wayne couldn't release it.
And Mona Lisa. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, but overall, any other thoughts on Clipse's album? Any thoughts on the rollout? Anything that they said throughout this time, this era? Anything y'all wanted to add?
No, I'm good on that.
Okay, well there you go. So on the Jackboys too, the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Now Jackboys. Now Jackboys, as we know, Travis, Cactus Jack, his crew, Don Toliver, Solfego, Sheck West, they finally released their long-awaited second studio album, their long-awaited compilation album, Jackboys 2. Been teased since the very beginning of this year, and this album definitely, as time was going on, as things were heating up, the rollout was fire. Every feature artist, they had a label sent to them with the Jackboys 2 logo on it. One thing about Travis, we know he could do a rollout like very few can. So he generated a lot of hype. Obviously, people are always excited to hear new Travis Scott music. People were excited to see what he was going to do with his collective this time around. It was reported that there were going to be more songs. But another thing that added to the hype was So Be It. The disc that came out probably about 2 or 3 weeks before the album actually did. And
something like that.
Yeah, around that time. And the narrative and the question was, is Travis going to respond? Now, most people wrote him off as Travis ain't going to respond. He ain't really a lyricist like that, which is a fair point.
He's not.
Travis is not really
by any means.
He's not that kind of artist by most people's metric. But surprisingly, he actually did respond on the very first song. But it was kind of like in passing. It was something like, these old niggas kill me. Something I really couldn't even recite.
Like kind of like he couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. It really wasn't anything to write home about. But getting past that, aside from that aspect, what did we think of the project itself? What did we think of Jackboys 2? I ain't asking you because you ain't listened to it.
I don't know who this we is. I'm talking about. This we is.
There's no way without you and I. Anyway, I personally thought that it was okay. Like, I wasn't really excited for it. I was more excited for the Clipse out for Let God Sort Him Out.
I was equally excited.
Right. So I'll say that this album for me was okay. I didn't really have much. There wasn't really much for me to say about it. It was just kind of what you expect from Travis and Jackboys too. From Travis, Don Toliver, Solfego, so on and so forth. And to be honest, for it to be released like the next night after Let God Sort Him Out, I'm like, if this is what you kind, I understand like that it was probably for like a competition type thing. I'm thinking like, yeah, you better. This should have been better than what it was if that was the intention behind the album releasing the next night.
Yeah,
like. To be honest, it wasn't really that. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't really what I would call like what I would consider an album, considering it didn't have like any type of theme behind it. Like it was kind of like Utopia, but without the Utopia. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like, but all the songs on there were good. It was just another playlist for me.
It was more. It's more of a compilation. When it comes to like compilation albums, like when labels do that, they're more so for the purpose of kind of being a way to showcase each artist's individual talent and collective talent. It wasn't really meant to be like
profound.
It's not meant to be like a real project in the sense of like, it almost more like a mixtape in a way.
Oh, okay.
Almost.
And okay, when you put it like that, that's the vibe I got from it.
Yeah.
Because what?
A glorified mixtape.
Essentially,
Very much so.
And everybody was, and for it to be so highly anticipated as it was, like, oh, he's releasing Jackboys too, and oh man, Travis is gonna get him. I'm like, okay, cool.
He got hits on the album for sure.
Yeah, more or less.
Where Was You, Cardi and Future, that goes stupid. Champagne and Vacay, him and Don Toliver, that goes
That
crazy.
one was good. I'll give you that. That one was good.
That
I'm
one with
call it
Glorilla Shine, that's an interesting one.
I wouldn't really call those hits.
He said that's interesting.
Like,
you
you heard the song?
I heard her doing
The thing?
Yeah, no.
I'm not even about to attempt to do that.
No, I will say this. Those weren't really hits. Those were more like bunts.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
You know, you made contact, but it wasn't really
Like, it wasn't like, it was more like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Something like that. Like, it was, like, but other than that, like, it was okay. I don't really have that much good to say about it because it's just what I expected from Travis and Don Toliver and all of them. Even though I still love both of those artists, they're still great artists. And I'm not saying that it's bad by any means, but
it's just what you expect at this point. The funny thing about
what you looking at me like that for?
these my eyes.
The funny thing about these albums is that they both were exactly what we expected in their own way, ironically.
Right. Like, because with this one, it like I think he was trying to kind of, would y'all say they were trying to undercut Malice and Pusha T?
Oh yeah,
Potentially. I mean, why else release the album on a Saturday?
Yeah, because my thing is like when they try to undercut it, I'm like, I feel like that attempt was pretty weak.
No, because I mean the explanation that they gave was that it was 713, like 713 day, because it was like a Houston thing. That's the explanation they gave.
Bullshit.
But I do think that it was more about him trying to step on their release.
Oh yeah, easily.
And Jackboys sold like almost 300K first week. So they definitely was trying to little nigga them for sure.
Right.
That's definitely Travis tried to do.
Yeah, the audiences are way different. It's just like, it's like having like, how can I put this? It's like having Lil Wayne versus Killer Mike type audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Clipse being exactly, and Clipse being more of that like if you know type of why is that?
Had to.
You know.
Well, fire ass song that off of Daytona.
Oh, you didn't listen to Daytona.
No, I
not
yet.
On the album, isn't it?
It's either the first or the last.
It's around there.
Okay, all right. Well, no pun intended, I guess. But so with their name being their name, see what it is. But like I said, I feel like Clipse is more that if you're a deep lover of hip hop,
yeah.
Well, I guess you don't got to be that deep of a lover of hip hop to know who Pusha T is. But to know, because even for me, I didn't know that he even had a brother. So that should tell you right there. Like, you should know who Pusha T is, but to know who Malice is and Clipse as a collective is.
And to know their history and, like, how they came up with Pharrell and stuff like that.
Right, exactly. That kind of takes some knowledge that a lot of people our age and younger aren't really going to understand.
Especially because Pusha T, I feel like, definitely for our generation, is more kind of known for... He's more known, in my opinion, for being like a battle rapper almost.
Right.
Because most people, when they first really heard of Push that are our age, was when he dissed Drake.
You're right, exactly. Like, exactly. Most people now. Like,
I knew who Push was before that.
Same.
But that brought a new level of attention that he never really had on his own. In the sense that, like, that was the first time he was kind of discussed in more sort of mainstream pop culture as opposed to just sort of like, you know, just hip hop, just very hardcore, that kind of audience.
Right. And now while Lil Wayne is more universally known, like kind of like Travis is, probably even to maybe to a slightly lesser degree, but what I'm saying about Killer Mike and Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Killer Mike definitely being that like if you know type of rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
But yeah, like but for this to try to step on his rollout or step on his sales, I don't think it really did a good job of doing that, considering like what DJ just said, they have two different audiences.
Two different people are kind of like checking. We're the anomaly where we're checking for both.
Right, exactly. Like I thought, and like I said, I thought Jackboys 2 was good, but it's just like it's not going to stop anything that Let God Sort Him Out is doing.
The music is still going to speak for itself regardless. And the quality of the music, in my opinion, and most people's opinion, is better when it comes to Let God Sort Him Out. I mean, I like both projects, but I think which one I'm personally listening to more, Let God Sort Him Out.
Yeah, exactly. Because Jackboys 2
is a way bigger Travis Scott fan than I'm a fan of those two other niggas.
Exactly. Because I'm
still a fan of Clipse, but not like when it comes to Trav, though.
You just call them those two other niggas?
Crazy work. Crazy work. I will say this. With Jackboys 2, because it wasn't really anything special that I haven't heard from them before. It was just the same criticism that you could give Clipse and Pusha T by extension is the fact that he talks about the same thing on his other solo albums. Malice, I haven't really heard that much from. I haven't heard much from him. Heard anything at all from him other than with Clipse. So I'm gonna check out more of his music. But the same, like I was saying, the same criticism you can give with them about their subject matter, about it being nothing but coke and drug bars, you can apply the same logic to Jackboys too, because this isn't any different from Don Toliver's Heaven or Hell, from what was his other the Life of Don or something like that, and Hearthstone Psycho, and then Lovesick. Lovesick might be slightly different because there was a little bit. Yeah, there was a little bit more subject matter and substance there.
Because he had that song with Cali.
Right.
I do fuck with when they make music because those two don't miss.
Yeah, it was just exactly when y'all say it's a compilation album. That's kind of what it was to a T. That's exactly what it was to a T in more ways than just it being just those artists. I heard Rodeo. I heard Birds in the Trap Sig Midnight in there and so on and so forth. So it's like, and So Vago, I haven't heard much So Vago other than like one song, But
when it comes to these type of artists, you know what to expect when it comes to like Travis and that sort of collective and that sort of like, I guess that sort of lane.
Like it's predictable. Like, and I hate to put it like this, but it's predictable.
Like that's what I'm saying. I knew what to expect when it came to both projects, but in completely different ways. When it came to Clipse, I expected to hear a lyricism. I expected to hear type production. I expected to hear a theme. With Jackboys 2, I expected to hear some fun lit turn up music. That's what I expected.
Right. But my point was that if you're gonna try to compete with rappers culturally like this and try to step on the tiger's neck, so to speak.
Okay.
Then you better, if you're gonna try to do that, then you better come with a shotgun if you're gonna step on the tiger's neck.
You should have gone for the head, right?
Right, exactly. Like in other words, I wanted it to be more than just what I heard.
Okay, that's a fair point. I can agree with that.
That's the only reason why I say all I say, because it really wasn't a bad album. Under different circumstances, I would definitely would have enjoyed it way more than I did.
So basically, what you're saying is that they were gonna pop up. They really should have popped out with the intention to show niggas.
See, I knew you was about to do that.
I had to, man.
You cannot help yourself.
But yeah, but exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I can agree with that, because if they were gonna come out with a project on basically within the same 24-hour span, they should have came with the intention to really show people, really make a statement culturally. I can understand.
Because I'll put it like this. I'll put another metaphor. It's kind of like Lex Luthor shooting Superman with a regular bullet. See, I got this one. See, Superman, I'm gonna kill you. Bow, ding.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That's a fair point. I like where you're angling this, because it do make sense when you really think about it. It do make sense that if you're getting it do make sense that if you're really going to try to step on somebody's neck after they dished you, it only makes sense that you really go with the intention to not just bury them numbers wise, but also culturally. Because I mean, Drake obviously is the biggest rapper in the world, but he's not as culturally respected as somebody like a Cole or a Kendrick.
No, not at all.
So I understand
Well, I mean,
what you mean in that regard.
With that being said, compared to Cole, if he didn't back out, I keep saying this. If he didn't back out of that fight, like I don't like.
He should have never engaged to begin with.
Right. If he never would have engaged, you could say that about Cole and Drake now. About as far as Cole being more, excuse me, as far as Cole being more respected than Drake. If he never would have
fought, more respected than Drake.
Is he?
Hell yeah, Cole is.
Yeah, Cole, like comparing like culturally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drake,
okay.
They've been on. As the last year, they've been on Drake ass every day.
Oh, okay.
Everything Drake does in the public eye is criticized and
right.
He can't do anything.
I'm not.
Drake's a pop artist. He's still a pop artist. So at the end of the day, Cole would still be considered a rapper.
Yeah. Okay.
Different kind
of. The only reason why I say that is because I feel like Cole got more flack for that. That's the only reason why I said it.
He did,
because he's a rapper.
Because he's a rapper. Yeah.
We expected you to crash out, and then you got out of the car. So
before you hit the wall, like
basically. But I feel like Cole. I feel like he's recovered from that mostly.
Yeah,
especially if he drops fall off and it does end up being as great as we want it to be. Which at this point, where the hell is fall off? He's been teasing this album for almost a decade.
Exactly.
So at this point, I feel like Cole. All he has to do is just drop a fire album, and people are gonna be like, "Nah, it don't matter." It's not gonna affect his legacy long term.
Yeah, in my opinion, at least not like how this will with Drake. So I agree with what y'all saying. I see what y'all mean.
Has been completely in question ever since the beef.
Right, yeah, like because Drake really didn't. I remember when before the beef even started, people were talking about, oh no, Drake is gonna body Kendrick. Drake has this, that, and the third.
Hell fought that.
Exactly.
So many light-skinned individuals.
Exactly.
Man, what are you talking about, man? Kendrick is a little nigga.
Shout out my boy Corey. Like I remember when we posted about but I remember love you, bro. But I remember when we posted. I posted on about the concert back in May, and he's like, "No, that looks boring. It looks dead out there, bro." I'm like, "Yeah, you sound like a hater."
Like, Corey's a Drake fan. Shout out Corey for sure. Corey, even back in high school, was always more of a Drake fan than anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially when Take Care came out, like that's all I heard him talk about was Take Care.
And if you're reading this,
too,
boy, when we was in that locker room back in the day, they'd be playing nothing but views.
Right, exactly.
I heard pop style constantly.
Bro,
I had to have heard One Dance about a trillion times. Controller, everything. Which, to your credit, when you said that he's more of a pop artist, that was around the time where you really started to see that, because I can't think of one song on that album that really is hip hop for real. And that's when he started to lean more on that dance hall Caribbean sort of sound, which that sound actually did work for him.
It did.
It's not bad, but it's just like you're not in the conversation with these other people.
Yeah, right. We the big, like, and when Cole said we the big three, like we started the league.
I was listening to that song. That's what Kendrick said. Kendrick said, "Who the fuck?"
Yeah, I'll give Kendrick and Cole those on the big two spotlight, the gruesome twosome spotlight. But
that sounds crazy.
Yeah,
but continue.
Y'all get what I'm pause, but y'all get what I'm saying. But like when they mentioned when he mentioned Cole, when Cole mentioned Drake, I'm just like, as far as big three, as far as what?
They're the big three artists in hip hop. That's been the case.
Because not rap in general.
No, they've been considered the big three, like the best
like
of that
artists
generation at the time.
Okay, all right, cool. Because I was confused when he first said that. I was like, not rapping wise, because the only reason why I even listen to First Person Shooter is because of Cole.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately, like
First Person
I'm
Shooter
about to
is one of my most listened to songs of all time, and a lot of that it really is because of Cole verses.
Exactly, and then Drake talked about I said, well, I'm about to skip. Like I'm about to.
It was the same thing with that 21 Savage collab project.
Her Loss.
I listened to it, and then when Drake came on, I went to the next song.
That's exactly crazy work, because Drake actually had some good performances on that album. He did.
Yeah.
Tell me he didn't kill Rich Flex. He killed Rich Flex.
Do it look like I give a fuck? Because I don't.
Broke boys. No, I can't. No, 21 got him on Broke Boys.
Yeah, 20. That's another thing about.
He got him on Jimmy Cooks too.
Yeah.
21. Actually,
how you let somebody kill you on a song named after a character you played, nigga? He was Jimmy.
But to be fair, Drake did do his thing on that song, but Savage was in his bag. I don't know. That was when 21 was turning in verse after verse, and they were just going crazy.
But going back to Pusha T and Travis, and really all Pusha T's like beefs or feuds or whatever that he's had with people, would you, if him and Lil Wayne were to get into a little verbal altercation, we know what would happen with tapping to Travis. Travis would get murked. Oh, yeah. And I think that's why Travis didn't say much other than just calling them old niggas. Because
I think Travis just said what he said to save face more than
anything. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that he has any intention. That's why he didn't go harder. Not to say that he would, but I think part of the reason why he was like, let me not say too much, is because he knows, because it's like, you remember what Pusha T did to Drake.
Right.
What just happened with Kendrick.
Right. And I can arguably say that Drake is a better rapper than Travis is.
Nah.
You could say that with Drake actually like tries, like if you hear Take Care versus like any of Travis's versus any Travis's art.
Travis can rap he can for sure. He can rap.
But I think in that battle Drake would win because Drake is still a competent rapper.
Oh yeah,
he can still he still had a good couple of lines against Kendrick. But the thing is,
you just acting like an activist is make believe don't even go back to your hood and plant no money trees.
Exactly. But the thing is, if he could hold his own if he could barely hold his own against Kendrick, and he couldn't even hold his own against Push, what is Push going to do to somebody that's worse than Drake rapping wise?
Exactly.
So
Family Matters, Drake went crazy. You gotta give Drake credit.
I'll give
wise. Delivery, Drake went crazy on
right, and that was the only round that he won in that whole boxing match.
No, he didn't win that. Because Meet the Grams came out right after that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's why I didn't shoot. That's why I thought.
Win that. And then Not Like Us, the afternoon after that.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Kendrick, man.
Belt to ass.
I will never forget when I woke up the next morning because I didn't realize that them songs had dropped. Because Drake, he texted every stream talking about something. Stay up late. Stay up for the diss. Stay up for the diss track. Comes out, Family Matters came out, and then not even an hour later, guess what else came out? Meet the Grams. No. While they were still on stream.
No. When it was Academics playing Drake.
Yeah.
And then what happened? What was released the afternoon after that? Not Like Us.
Yep.
And that was
right.
it. To the point where most people don't even remember that Drake had the Hardcore 6. People forget about that shit.
That was the surrender.
So I'll put
basically waving the white flag.
Hell yeah, it's like please no more.
So
like, you know what? I don't even want to do this no more.
Because Not Like Us came out that afternoon.
That's basically what he did.
Not Like Us came out that afternoon, and then that night they were already playing it in the club.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
Yeah, because back in another boxing metaphor, when he dropped Family Matters. He knocked Kendrick down, but the difference is when Meet the Grams came back on, Kendrick did a kip up back on his feet, and then when Drake turned around, bam, knockout.
Clean knockout.
Like an Undertaker get up. That was like.
That's even better metaphor. My bad.
Because I remember listening to Family Matters and Meet the Grams because you had like a gig that morning, and I remember we were listening to the disc over the speakers. In the truck.
Yeah.
I remember my stomach was sick. I couldn't believe what Kendrick was saying.
Yeah, my face was like, dude, this ain't good.
To this day, I can't really listen to it like that.
Not really. Yeah.
He didn't even play it on the tour.
He doesn't need.
Yeah. I noticed
Why
that.
would you though?
He's not even playing it anywhere.
He's never performed it live.
I know, but I'm saying that's even he knows that's kind of like.
Yeah, that is too much.
Yeah, like
imagine you go from playing something like, I don't know, Family Matters to now you hearing Meet the Grams. Fuck up the entire vibe, atmosphere, the concert for the rest of the entire show.
Now, if, God forbid, I pray against this, if Push and Kendrick were to go at it.
Kendrick. I say Kendrick. Kendrick's a bigger artist, and he's just as good, if not a better lyricist.
I could agree with that. Although I couldn't see that happening.
Push
I could. I mean, either. But Push would definitely. Yeah, he would definitely put up a fight.
I can't see it happening either though.
Because the thing is though, Drake ain't really that much competition though. Well. He had Meek Mill, but then again, Meek Mill wasn't really that much competition.
Meek can rap.
He can rap, yeah, but I mean, as far as like in like a battle.
Yeah. No, Meek came up as a battle rapper though.
I lie. Okay, well, I guess I'm. What am I doing, bro? What am I saying? I'm getting told I'm wrong at every turn. But anyway. But yeah, like going back to what I said about what we said about pushing Lil Wayne and all them. Yeah, Lil Wayne would get slaughtered.
Wayne today, yeah.
Wayne.
Would there be a time where he would? Because it's not an issue of ability. It's just like.
What would Lil Wayne say?
What is there to say, essentially?
Like,
what can you say about Push? You can say that the only time he's relevant is when he's dissing somebody else. You could say that.
Yeah, but in even when saying that kind of gives him more ammo too, because
like tackling a dummy versus when you get in the game.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Wayne's in-game performances. In terms of
right.
like when he battled somebody and actually like knocked the head off.
Right.
Yeah, he's never like cut somebody's like head clean off or anything like that.
If he even won.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned, shout out to this guy Jody Too Good on TikTok. That's where I first heard this. Because this was around when Wayne and Kendrick were when the internet was trying to set that thing up. He said Jody Too Good went and pretty much documented all of most of Wayne's most prominent battles. And then he brought up Gilly the Kid. And then I heard a little snippet of what Gilly said.
Like the podcast nigga? That's what I would
do. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. The only reason why I know Gilly because he's a Philly fan. You know, Fly Eagles Fly. We won the Super Bowl anyway. Fuck y'all. Anyway, so I'm just like, Cowboys fans that is. But I was like, I heard what Gilly said, and then I heard what Wayne said. I'm like, Wayne, you can do better than that. Because Gilly ain't really that much of a rapper. At all anymore.
Wayne had a funny ass response to Pharrell, like when Pharrell didn't want to give him any bait clothing for this this because we kind of mentioned it a little bit before. The reason that they have beef is because Birdman had a song produced by the Neptunes back in the day that was a big hit. Birdman never paid the Neptunes the money, the royalties for that song. So about a year or two later, when Wayne was getting ready to do this cover shoot for this interview for this magazine, he went to Pharrell and he said, "Hey, can I get some bait? Free basically." And Pharrell was like, "Nah."
Get some what?
Huh?
Get some what?
Bait, like the clothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like some bathing ape clothing. So yeah, basically he went to Pharrell and he asked if he could have some, and Pharrell was like, "Nah," understandably so, because I never got my money. So Wayne gets in like an interview, like maybe a year or so after that. And they asked him about Pharrell, and he's like, "Who the fuck is Pharrell?"
Right.
Just dismiss him for no reason.
Right.
You see how niggas just get it there and just start lying?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But do y'all got anything else to say about the album and stuff?
Not really. Overall, I would say that this was a great thing for hip hop culturally. I think we kind of needed this. I wouldn't say this is anything like the Kendrick versus Drake thing in terms of like the spectacle or what it did in terms of like eyes on hip hop, but I will say that it was good to kind of see two major releases like this at the same time. It was good for a storyline in hip hop. Yeah. It was a good storyline. It was good seeing.
It was more like one page.
Basically, you know what I can say? It's not the main story arc. It's kind of a little side. Kind of a few episodes of filler.
But it's not even a short film. Like it's a YouTube video.
Still good though.
Like this is a YouTube video.
Instagram reel is crazy. Or a TikTok.
I'm sorry, DJ, bro.
But yeah, no. Overall, I enjoyed the spectacle of it. I enjoyed both rollouts. It was fun for a hip hop fan. It was a fun time as a hip hop fan. I think overall, regardless of who you are, whether you're a fan of one or the other, you still win as a hip hop fan, in my opinion. Exactly. That's my personal take on it. And at the end of the day, I like both projects, so hey, I'm eating. As a fan, shit, I'm not complaining.
Same.
So yeah, I'm pretty much good.
DJ?
What ratings would you give both albums if you had to say?
Okay, my fault. Let God Sort Him Out 10, easily 10, flawless victory. Jackboys 2, by itself without any context behind it, not a 7.
I agree. You know what? I can completely agree. I'll give Let God Sort Him Out a 10.
But
I'll give that a 10. It's a masterpiece of an album.
Yeah. Jackboys 2, you would say
Jackboys 2, I'll give it about a 6.5 or a 7.
Yeah, I'll give Jackboys 2 a 7. You?
Let God Sort Him Out, 10 out of 10. Jackboys, didn't listen to it.
Non-applicable.
So,
no, not planning to listen to it either.
Not gonna check that box,
So there you go. But with that being said, man, I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
It's a beautiful day.
Yes, sir. In the neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Everybody, we got more videos coming out soon. Remember, stay tuned and look at the details. God bless you. Peace.